All right, fastest 15 minutes in social media, fastest 15 minutes on the internet. And my name is Judson Powell. As some of y'all know, I took ill on October 27th of last year. And anyway, that's all over. I'm in healing mode, and I think I'm appreciative and I'm grateful just to be here. The condition that I had, only 30% of people actually survive. Most people, actually, so if 30% of people survive, that means 70% of most people, they die. And so I'm still here and I'm grateful. My voice, because of the meds I was taking and all the stuff I was going through, my voice wasn't um, 100%, but right now um, I'm feeling like, I'm getting my voice back. And so my throat chakra, I've been doing things to clear my throat chakra, listening to vibration and healing music and all of that just to get myself back. I'm still in the bed because my legs are not 100% strong enough like to be walking around and stuff like that. I have walked 62 steps though, so I'm gonna put that out there in the universe. 62 steps on the way to many thousands more steps that I will walk. So anyway, want to talk about the whole Donald Trump thing. And I know it's like stuff has been going down since I've been ill. But what I want to talk about is the inauguration that's coming up on the 20th. Also, the impeachment that went down yesterday, making Donald Trump the only sitting president, basically, that has been impeached twice. He is the only one in history. So now that we have that, so the next thing um, is that they must vote him out in order to get him out, and then what will happen is he'll lose all his benefits, his pension, all of that kind of stuff. That will go by the wayside. His Secret Service protection, everything like that, basically will be gone, and he'll be relegated to taking care of all that stuff by himself. Now, what I want to do is in this video is basically, uh, I'm not really talking about anything that's a spirituality, but what I want to do is I want to be kind of petty today, and I want to talk about I told you so. And the people who know about I told you so, there are certain people that may not even contact me through this medium or whatever, but who contacted me when Donald Trump was elected, and had a lot, especially Christians, a lot of Christian people, a lot of conservatives and stuff like that. They tried to contact me and say, "Oh well, give Trump a chance," and I said, "No way." I said, "There's no way we should give this man a chance to be president. There's no way we should back anything he says or does or anything like that, because he had already uh, cast his lot a long time ago. Um, we knew that basically he wanted to be president so he could pad his own personal stats, his own personal statistics, and because he's a narcissist, there's no way that he should have ever been president. He was all he and everything that he ever did, he was out for self. He never did anything for the country. The only thing he did was, and this is the only reason why he wasn't impeached the first time, he wasn't removed the first time he was impeached, was because rich folks were intent on getting the benefits from his presidency. And what I mean by that is he deregulated or um, he basically deregulated every industry. He took all the regulations, anything that the Obama administration, the Bush administration, or any administration prior to his, anything that they had done in order to um, improve the United States, or all of the alliances or the coalitions that had been created. And it wasn't even really about um, partisanship. It was more so about, look, if we deregulate stuff, obviously if you run a business and I deregulate everything, then I can run wild as a business and it doesn't cost me as much money to operate. However, what he didn't count on was COVID-19. And I think that the whole COVID-19 thing basically threw a monkey wrench in his plans. And here's the thing. Trump would have been reelected easily. He would have been easily reelected had he paid attention to COVID-19. Because the one thing about COVID-19, it didn't discriminate. So there was no racial divide when it came to COVID-19 because everybody was dying. At first, when it first came out, everybody was like, oh, well, black people don't get it, or black people are carriers and they don't get it as much or whatever. But then as things went on, we all noticed that there was definitely a thing where COVID-19 was basically taken, and it was like, oh, well, now everybody is dying on an equal basis. And when we figured that out and we found that out, then everybody was like, well, we got to figure out a way to either get a vaccine or to cure this. And so then that's what the focus turned to. But that was only in the private sector or in the, as far as pharmaceutical companies and stuff like that. But when it came down to everyday ordinary people on the ground, they were still dying and are still dying. And the numbers actually at this recording time right now, those numbers are actually going up. So the numbers of people that are actually contacting the disease are going higher. And so we understand that with those numbers going higher, we have a very serious problem. And with that serious problem, we know that there are people that are dying that shouldn't be dying. And the whole thing is that all we wanted was a president that would pay attention to the disease, and after paying attention to the disease would go on and say, look, okay, if we pay attention to the disease, then figure out either a vaccine or a cure and save people's lives. But Trump did none of that. So Trump did none of that, and that's what forced, even now in the impeachment vote, there were 15 people that Republicans that crossed party lines, and not just Mitt Romney, but there were others that crossed party lines and said, look, we're not gonna hold up the party line and not impeach you. So that's what we've been talking about, in private and all of that kind of thing. So now that he's been impeached, kick him out. And here's the other thing. We got to go back to normal. And when I say go back to normal, that's because manifestation only occurs where we take everything and say, okay, manifestation is going to occur. Why? Manifestation is going to occur because what? We call things that be not as though they are. So in the words of the biblical words, which were of course stolen from Kemetic words, we are looking at things and saying, okay, this is what happened. And so we know that the only way to manifest what we want, the sense of normalcy, is to reject everything that was abnormal. Everything that's abnormal at this point in time, and I'd like to say right now, is I reject everything. I reject 2020. I reject everything that came in 2020. And now I look at 2021 and I say, look, this is the year, or this is the beginning of years of prosperity, and also, calling those things that be not as though they were. So right now, I've been telling everybody, especially black folks, because we were at the brunt, at the hate part of all of these different things, and a lot of the things that we were doing, they come back up on us because we don't look at things and call those things that we want and say we're going to manifest it. So all of these people that want to be millionaires and billionaires and all that kind of stuff start manifesting this stuff, but you cannot You first of all, you have to use universal law of attraction, and then you have to use the universal law of action or the universal law of work. So you have to put in the labor, put in the work. But if you put in the labor and put in the work, all of the obstacles that were there before are gone. So even with stuff like Black Lives Matter, and we know that there's always going to be people that are not going to agree with what you do or what you say or anything like that. But you got to realize that all of these things are from a standpoint saying, look, when it comes down to being black, we are at a great time in history because of the fact that now people have taken notice of the plight of black people through slavery. Reparations need to be pressed upon. We have Kamala Harris as the vice president of the United States, the first time in history we have a black woman. And the other thing is, look, that woman has African descent. You can look at her, you can put her up there, but whatever you want to say about her is all of that is self-hatred. It's just self-hatred. That's all it is. The woman is black. Her father is Jamaican, and they even tried to lie about his origin, saying that her Jamaican ancestors were white. No, they were slaves. All right, her ancestors were slaves, just like many of us. And so and Jamaica was one of the worst slaveholding colonies in the history of slavery because of the buck busting and all of that, the whole thing and then the whole thing of alcoholism and all of these things. Go and study your history. And that's why I keep telling people, look, I push our history and we are Africans. We are African people, black, to quote Paul Mooney, black is the new white, and because we are all mixed with white. We have no choice in the matter. We had no choice in the matter. So we all are African, and the other thing is start supporting Africa. Start supporting West Africa. Most of us came here, if we came here as slaves, we came here from West Africa. So you must start supporting the things that are in Africa. Start supporting the things that are in the Caribbean and in the island, nations. Stop trying to be white. Stop trying to be white and remember that everything that you're an African, and that's why, I look at stuff and I'm just like, look, we are, and back in the day when Pan-Africanism was at its height, the whole thing was we are an African people. Think about that. We are an African people, but don't claim other stuff that you're not. Why are you claiming other stuff that you're not? Claim what you are and then move on, because whatever you are, that's the result. And right now the whole thing is like Africa and all of the movements of Africa are going to be emphasized, and I'm speaking this prophetically, is saying that everything is going to be emphasized over this Black Lives Matter movement. But all these black lives, they came from Africa. All of these black lives, all of these inventions, all of the things, the negative things that they taught us, all of the negative, aspects of things that they taught us during slavery and Jim Crow, and all of these different things that we've been through, we have to take those things and throw them aside. Just like when we voted, like in Georgia and in all these places, Trump actually did us a favor. Trump did us a favor because he showed us that when we come out and vote and when we participate, when we do the things that are necessary and we participate, they can't beat us because we got bigger numbers. They can't beat us. You can say what you want, but our numbers showed. Our numbers showed in Georgia. Our numbers even in places like Arizona, and places like North Carolina and South Carolina, and all of these different places. If we come out, we register, we vote, we make coalitions, we talk to each other, we love on one another, there's no way that we can be beat. The next thing we got to work on black crime. We got to cut that out because that's not us. That's never been us. In our history, it's never been us. Anyway, fastest 15 minutes is up. My name is Judson Powell. Thank you very much for tuning in. And I'm going to try to stay consistent with this. And I love you all.